Welcome back to the second episode of Take a Paws new SJCC Podcast. And my name is Ganas Gama.
I'm Guadalupe La Torre.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what are we going to have in this current episode.
Yes, of course. We have amazing guests happening in the second episode. We're excited. So let's kind of dive into who we're going to be having on our episode for today. We're going to first start this episode with welcoming Shelley Giacalone, one of our Comm Studies and Mass Media faculty. Our second guest is going to be Sabrina Maciel, as well, one of our Comm Studies and Mass Media faculty, who are both going to be here discussing Let Your Life Speak event happening on April 11th. They'll discuss about the event, how as well it entails, and as well how to maybe audition for the following academic year. Our second guest we're going to be welcoming back will be ASG President Priyam Tated, who will be discussing his journey to skating. Right, we're excited about that. And then we'll be ending the episode with our Vice President of Student Affairs, Garcia, who will of course be chatting with us about how to prepare for finals week, which is just around the corner.
And so let's go ahead and talk about some of the reminders in today's episode. So first of all, tax season is almost over. You guys need to make sure that you filled out your taxes before April 15th.
Yes.
And what's also happening is that we're having a spring break just next week. So make sure you get some good rest before our final season. And of course, don't forget to enter the giveaway because we've got some bags with SJCC swag, as well as some of the gift cards.
Making it rain.
Yeah, and of course, the reminder what you need to do for that is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as go back to the first episode of Take a Pause SJCC Podcast, give us a thumbs up, and also leave a comment under that video.
We're excited that you'll be joining us on this episode of Take a Pause.
There's more than one path to a successful future.
And they're all in one spot at San Jose City College.
Plus, there are ways to do it with no tuition or fees.
Discover your spot today at San Jose City College.
Welcome back to our next segment of Take a Pause, new SJCC podcast. So today we have two special guests who know all about the communication and the power of the media. So joining us today is Professor Shelley Giacalone.
Hi.
She is a faculty member in Communication Studies and Mass Media at SJCC. With years of experience in teaching media analysis and helping students find their voice, she brings a wealth of knowledge and passion into our campus.
Welcome, Shelley, welcome. And as well, also joining us, we have Professor Sabrina Maciel, also one of my colleagues. Yay, Sabrina! Now, a little bit about you, Sabrina, that we know, and I know you're going to share more about yourself in a little bit. You are one of our fabulous colleagues here in the Comm Studies and Mass Media department. As well, you were one of the 2018 Let Your Life Speak presenters. Yes? Yes. So we're excited to definitely get to know more about you today.
If you want to share anything about yourself, maybe also add a fun fact about yourself. And if we can start with you.
Oh, okay. I teach both here at San Jose City College and over at De Anza. I was a student here back in 2018 to, I think it was like 2017 to 2018. Then I transferred to San Jose State University, got both my bachelor's and master's there. So it's really fun. And then I guess a fun fact about me is I'm really good at hula hooping. Really random. I don't know.
I love hula hooping.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, Sabrina.
Yeah, I can do it like backwards and forwards and walk and run. It's really fun.
That is awesome.
It's hard.
That is awesome. Really, really cool.
Well, fun fact, I have two. One is Sabrina was my student a while ago, not a very long time. I've been teaching at City now for 10 years, but teaching public speaking for 19 years. And a fun fact, my first introduction to San Jose City was actually I danced on the football field with my high school. So Lincoln High School used to have their big bone game here every Thanksgiving. So that was my introduction to City, was doing a halftime routine.
Shelley, you are as well one of my fabulous colleagues, and I'm excited to be working with both of you as well with my fabulous co-host, Ghana. So one question I know that our viewers have, since of course the segment we're discussing Let Your Life Speak, and I know because you told me already how the history of Let Your Life Speak started, but if you can let our viewers know, how did this passion, this idea start?
Great question. Thank you for asking, Guadalupe. So it started, well, way before it really started. But when I got to SJCC, and I've been teaching quite a few years, I'd see my students showing these amazing speeches about their life stories in my class. And I often thought there has to be a larger venue, a larger platform for students to share this amazing emotional and transformative work that they're doing. And so I had an idea. It started with an idea. I pitched it to the president at the time, Dr. Brilliance. He actually liked the idea. He was excited about it. And he connected me with someone at Adobe, Tony Van Winkle.
Okay.
And that's how it all started, because I wanted to really create a partnership for our students too in the local tech community. And that's how it was born. And we've done it every year, minus COVID. That was, weird time, no live events, but almost every year since 2017.
Oh, awesome.
That sounds really nice. Now, Professor Sabrina, now I have a question for you. I know that you already went through all this in 2018, I believe. So would you share your experience? How did you get selected to this event? And what was your favorite part about the audition?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think one of the big things when it came to the selection was, just being really honest about everything. I was really forthright with my story, and I just tried to be as genuinely myself as I could because, I really wanted that to show. Going through auditions was really seamless. I felt like the faculty was very, very supportive. I really enjoyed it. Shelley was a great faculty member. She was my public speaking professor at the time, which, meant a lot to me. But yeah, and going through the process was great. I loved it. I recommend it to my students. I've actually been kind of like a guest speaker again, and it was great. I loved it. I felt super supported, and I felt like it really helped me become better at public speaking, but also just more confident in general about who I was and sharing that.
I love that. And so what I know myself and everyone wants to know is, what was your story about? And as well, if you can let us know why you wanted to share that story with the audience.
Yeah, so my story was about my struggles kind of going into college. So I started at Sonoma State University when I graduated in 2015 from high school. And I was struggling when it came to my mental health. So during my second year of college, I ended up leaving and moving back home to San Jose. And that was really hard for me just because I really felt defeated, and I felt like I disappointed my family because I was the first in my family to go to college. And with that, I went ahead and started going back to school, taking classes again, and that led me here to San Jose City. And I had such a great experience. I ended up applying back to schools. I got into multiple schools. And so it was really about me restarting my journey and becoming who I was again and figuring that out, and it led me to meeting Shelley, who showed me that I wanted to teach. And so really, she's been my mentor and showed me everything.
She's the best.
Yes.
Go, Shelley!
Oh, my goodness. Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
So since I'm also a communication major here
And a speaker and Let Your Life Speak this
Yes.
That was left out.
And I know that it is really like bringing high anxiety when you're getting ready for this, when you're like rehearsing your speech all over again, and you're like sometimes even getting confused and forgetting everything. What would you say is your advice to speakers like me?
Well, I think it's speakers like everyone, including myself, Ghana. I still get nervous. I still freak out, like not in the classroom. That's my comfort zone. But any kind of other public speaking, I still freak out, and I teach it. So first of all, it's totally normal. You're not alone. I would say practice, obviously, is the number one thing you can do. And then find what works. For me, I have to listen to some hype songs before I present. I have to get a workout in. I have to look my best, feel my best, have a whole routine so that I can perform. I really create the analogy a lot of times it's like sports, right? You put in all that time, the grind, and the daily practice. So when you're on stage, you are ready to go and perform at your best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. And then circling back, Sabrina, I know you had shared what your story was about, right? And why it was important for you to share that with an audience. But I know if you can let us know briefly, how did you feel sharing that story though? Now with everyone there in the room, how did you feel when you were there?
It was pretty scary just because it's a really vulnerable thing to share about your struggles and what happened. And a key component that I don't think a lot of people knew is that I actually had some family in the audience. So I had my grandpa, my uncle, and then some other close family friends that actually didn't know that was the reason why I had moved home and everything like that. So it was their first time hearing it.
Wow.
So it was difficult, but I felt really empowered and able to share my story. And that was a big thing for me, especially coming from a first generation, Latinx household. That's really intimidating.
Yeah.
So, as scary as it was, I felt confident. Again, I felt empowered. I felt like I could do it, and I have no regrets. I actually still go back and watch the video and see how much I've grown since then.
Yeah, I love that.
And so, as we may know, that many students, they have such an amazing stories. However, they're really afraid to share it. So what would you say is the good advice for them to do this first step to actually start sharing their stories?
Well, first of all, to confirm the validity of their story, a lot of people tell me, students say, well, I don't have anything interesting to share. I don't have a story. Everyone has a story.
Yep.
Everyone has been through a lot of different experiences, highlights, lowlights, everything in between. And so just taking some time to maybe jot down some ideas, I think is the first step, and then maybe share with a close friend. And then if you feel comfortable, you could share in my class, hopefully take my class, or Sabrina's class. And then eventually, if you want to audition, we have Let Your Life Speak auditions every February.
Oh, and that was my next question. How can students get involved but next February? So I know for right now we are preparing for the 2025 Let Your Life Speak, but now we know for 2026.
Yes.
Look out for the month of February.
Yes, definitely. So now that you know a little bit more about the event, I'll tell you the process. So you can contact me online. You can email me through the SJCC website. Also, we have auditions every February, and it's a super amazing program or experience. Students like Sabrina, now teaching alongside me, past Let Your Life Speak speakers. Some students have been asked to come back and speak at Professional Development Day here on campus. Some students have been advocates in the community using their story as a platform to really get their message across. So it's really becomes a stepping stone for students to start a public speaking career or to have some more kind of experience advocating in the community.
Awesome. And so I want to definitely, thank both of you for being here today, Sabrina and Shelley, and as well my fabulous co-host, Ghana. We're very excited, to be, of course, for welcoming the event of the 2025 Let Your Life Speak. And if you're probably wondering, our viewers, well, I'm not going to be attending there in person. How can I be able to watch the overall presentations for example, Sabrina's 2018 presentation, and as well for Ghana? Yes! Yay. We actually are going to be having those videos here on our SJCC YouTube channel, so make sure you definitely watch those videos streaming after April 11th, after the event. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I grew up where kids weren't expected to go to college. We just got whatever job we could to pay the bills. I felt I had no other choice. There was no role models to show me anything else. At San Jose City College, I experienced the transformational power of education. I was empowered when learning about social movements in this country, and I realized that I did have a choice. I decided then to forge my own path and become a role model for my family and for my community. Choose your own path. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
Welcome back, everybody, in our next segment for today. Well, you're wondering, what is happening today? Who is the guest? Well, we had him already here at Take a Paws, Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and so people are probably wondering, our subscribers, who is this guest? He's actually one of our guests that was in our very early on episode. And so I am happy to welcome back. Ghana's also happy to welcome this person back.
I'm so happy.
We are happy. Our Associates in Government here at San Jose City College, Priyam. Yes. Yes. Now, Priyam, last time you came to visit the studio, we learned about you as far as the ASG president for San Jose City College, which you are, okay? But you also had mentioned that, one of your passions, and you had shared that as well with us, because we know you as well outside of the studio, that skating is one of your passions. So we had to invite you back and find out more about the world of skating. Now, I'm excited for this episode, right, everybody? You're wondering, well, why is that? I am a beginner, all right, skater, all right? So meaning that I can do the four wheels and like the the one wheel. I don't know if what we would call it. Okay, and then I can do a little bit of ice skating, right? But I need maybe like some support. Yeah, like maybe I need to just stand somewhere. Like okay, because if my balance is not so great, we want to get to know more about you as far as this amazing skill, right? And of course, this hobby. So let's find out. Tell us about this journey that led you into skating.
Yes, so back when I was 3 years old, I saw my sister skating, and I think the way she was jumping on the skates, spinning on the skates, that just attracted my mind. And I was like, wait, I want to learn this. And I was like, Dad, can I really learn this? And he got me in classes, and I think that's where things started with. And, that's the start I needed. And I think so on, and I think skating has been an integral part of my life now. I enjoy skating a lot.
So as we already know, you're ASG president, you're finishing with your associate degree, right? And you're graduating this semester.
Yes.
So how do you balance everything?
I think what's important is planning and scheduling. Because sometimes, how we talk about time management, which is a really important skill to have, especially as a college student where, you have different things to do, where you have to balance life. Because when I'm in school, when I am in, the student government office, I know that I have to only focus on that. When I'm at home studying for an exam, I know that my domain is only focusing on exam.
Right.
When I'm preparing for a competition, I know that I have to focus on that. I try to distribute times and just focus on that particular thing at that time.
What are some of your proudest accomplishments in your skating career?
Yes, so I have some three important ones, which obviously every single achievement has been a really important one for me, but the three most important ones include the first one when I received the National Child Award from the President of India.
Wow.
Yes, I was invited at the President's house, and I think that was the time where I was really, reflecting my journey of like 13 years of skating life, always being there. My parents were there. Obviously, all of us were there for the first time in the President's house. So that was a very important achievement.
Yes.
And followed by that, I was a world champion in roller skating in Spain.
Wow.
So being,
this is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to bring photos next time.
Sure, definitely. So that was another great experience. And obviously the third one is that I have been the national champion in India from the last 6 years. So I have been really happy to represent India in international competitions as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
When you're saying all this, I mean, I'm just so impressed, to be honest. And probably you said you're skating since you've been 3 years old, right? Did you have any major challenges or anything that you want to share with us?
Oh yeah, definitely. Every sport does come with injury. I mean, whenever you're doing a sport professionally, you definitely face some or the other injuries. So there was this one injury which happened just before one of my important Asian championship.
Wow.
And it was really demotivating because I was preparing for that for about 8 months, and I was selected from my country to represent it. And just 1 month before that championship, I faced a really major injury in my leg. So it was really demotivating, but I think my mindset was to trust the process, make sure that I do proper physios, listen to the doctor, make sure I take care of myself. I did participate in that competition, although I couldn't give my best, but I think I recovered really early, and I think the following year when I went to the competition, I won the gold medal. I couldn't win in that one, but I think it's really important to trust the process, trust yourself, just make sure that you're doing your best.
Your role as an ASG president here at San Jose City College. And then now we're getting to know more about you, right? And of course, your passion for skating. So I want to connect these two together, right? And my question would be, how does skating influence your leadership style or mindset in ASG?
Yes, so there is definitely some connection which I found, because when I was skating back in India in my country, I used to host different workout sessions for young skaters, and I think that's where I got my leadership skills from. I am someone who really interacts with people, love teaching them new things. So I think that's where I thought that this is something which is in my domain, and I think I really enjoyed doing it. And obviously when I came here in SJCC, this was something which really attracted me, because doing something better for the community has always been one of my important goals, and that is why this role really attracted my mind.
From my personal experience being a student who is also like doing gym and yoga and trying to kind of like mix this all, but at the same time have like this life, study, work balance, what would you personally recommend for students who are passionate about pursuing both sports and academics?
Yeah, I think that's a really good one, because I think it is very important to make sure that if you're passionate about something, that will definitely happen. The destiny will try their best to make sure that happens. So I think, as I mentioned earlier, it is very important to trust yourself. Don't get demotivated. Whatever it is, just make sure you have a really good plan, really good things, because if you party 2 hours less on the weekend, that's okay. You can try to contribute towards education. You can try to contribute towards your passion. You can try to contribute towards different things which will help you further in life. And I think that is what has helped me. So I would really recommend to try to cut down those fun hours. I'm not saying we should not have fun, but I think there is room where we can definitely try to scoop in some important things and make sure that things happen for a good reason.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, all really great tips. And again, we thank you for being here today, Priyam. And Gano, do you have any last questions for Priyam before we say goodbye?
I think this is everything that I personally wanted to know about your skating career and overall about your passions. So yeah, I just want to thank you again for being here, for finding time to come and talk with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for being here with us today and learning more about Priyam and his skating career. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and of course, leave a comment about your favorite segment of today's podcast.
Definitely. Don't forget as well, make sure you as well leave some feedback for us in those comments. We love hearing your feedback. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Searching for your spot?
At San Jose City College, you can graduate and transfer in just 2 years.
Plus, there are ways to do it with no tuition or fees.
Get on your path. Unleash your brilliance and discover your spot at San Jose City College.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Take a Pause. We're taking a pause today to chat with Vice President of Student Affairs, William Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we're excited because in this segment, we will be discussing what's around the corner. You're wondering, well, what's around the corner? Finals exams week, right? We're excited about this. And so maybe as well, Jaguars, you've been feeling a little bit nervous about finals week. I know it can be a little bit scary. We all know that. And so today in this segment, we want to discuss some of the resources as well as programs, right, that are available to our students here. And as well, share with you some helpful tips to help you prepare for finals week. But before, of course, we get into the segment, Ghana.
I know that I've seen you a lot on different events on campus and also with the student government meetings. However, we really want to know our guests more. So if you can share a little bit more about yourself and maybe a fun fact.
And a fun fact. Well, first, thank you for having me. What an honor to be here this afternoon. William Garcia. I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area in the East Bay. So I haven't traveled that far. But a little bit about my personal journey. My parents both immigrated from Mexico. They both lived obviously in the East Bay. I have two younger brothers. I did my undergraduate studies at Georgetown University, my graduate studies at Santa Clara University, so just down the street. Been in higher education for the past 26 years, the vast majority in administration, all within student affairs or student services. I've been here at City for about almost going on 4 years as the Vice President of Student Affairs.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, VP Garcia, finals weeks, like we mentioned, are just around the corner, right? And sometimes, things do come up like challenges, stress. And so we would like to just have a conversation about what are some of the biggest challenges students face during finals week?
Well, I think a lot of it depends on how they prepare for finals week. First and foremost, we hope students are going to class. They have to go to class. If they don't go to class, they're behind. Second is to get to know their faculty. I think it's very important for students to get to know our instructors. The other is to take advantage of tutoring services. I think that's a benefit that many students don't know that's free of charge, and we have it in person and also online tutoring in the vast majority of the subjects that we have to offer. And I think many of our students go into finals not having gone to class, met their faculty, and gone to tutoring or solicit other support services throughout the way. And I think if they do all of that, they'll be better prepared for finals.
And taking a quick little pause, and what are the operating hours for the tutoring services here, in person at our campus?
In person, they vary from term to term, but usually we start around 9 o'clock in the morning, and we go until about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on tutor availability. We have them in English, ESL, mathematics, sciences, other subjects, depending on the need of the students.
And what is the location where students can go and get tutoring?
On-campus tutoring is available on the first floor of our library in the Learning Resource Center. If they go into the building, it's located in the far left corner of the building.
We've talked about some of the resources like tutoring. However, I'm really curious, do we have any other available things that we have for students to have on campus before the finals? Maybe something like a mental health support or study centers?
Absolutely. Mental health. I think that's a resource that many of our students don't know about. So thank you for asking about that. We have one full-time case manager, and we have 2 part-time mental health counselors that are available to see students. We offer 6 to 8 sessions every semester for each student. Free of charge, confidential setting in a private office. Students can make an appointment. We have appointments available Monday through Friday during our business hours, and we encourage students to do so. The other is our basic needs. We have a lot of basic need opportunities for our students: assistance with transportation, assistance with food, assistance with textbooks, emergency loans. Students need to submit a basic needs referral form via our college website. On the bottom right-hand side, there's a link called Student Referral and Reporting Forms. Click on there. There's a link to basic needs. Students can complete it 24/7 as long as they have internet access, and we'll get back to them. Our basic needs coordinator designee will let them know what resources are available to them, free of charge.
That's really great. That a lot of resources on campus are available. So thank you for sharing those. Circling back to, again, preparing for the students' finals week. Once, students here, finals week is just maybe a few days or it's the week of, right? We tend to sometimes see as faculty or as a student that apprehension, that stress level tends to just go from here to up here. It rises. I know one thing that really helps out is being able to manage time, right? So are there any helpful tips, VP Garcia, you can definitely share with our students, with our viewers, of how we can balance, school, work, and as well preparing for finals?
Absolutely. I think that most of our students are part-time students here at San Jose City. That means they're working, they may have families, they have other obligations in addition to going to school. So I think many of our students are very well adept of balancing work and school and other obligations. However, we also have counselors who can help, who, if a student is struggling to help balance that work and life and school commitments, counselors can help them ensure that we're taking a good load of classes, meaning they're not taking 3 or 4 science and math classes all the same semester. That they're not taking their classes back to back to back, so they're loaded on Tuesdays and Thursdays and don't have anything on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, for example. Or students who think they have, it's going to be easier to take online courses, when in reality it's the same content, the same level of difficulty, it's just taught in a different medium. So meeting with the counselor can oftentimes alleviate that pressure or stress and create a better work-life, school balance that many times students struggle, at least at the beginning.
One of the reasons why I really love SJCC campus is because how many different programs we have, and I know that programs like ALMAS, ASG, or LEAP, and so I was wondering, are they going to have any workshops the student can go to know more about finals and life responsibilities?
Good question. I'm very thankful that here at San Jose City we have a lot of great academic and student support services to support our students throughout their journey from day one until graduation or transfer. You mentioned some of them. We have many of them, and we're very proud to have them all. We try very hard to support the student throughout their journey, and not just in the school setting, but also balancing, again, work-life obligations. Workshops. We have workshops on all kinds of different topics. Some that come to mind is financial aid. We remind students constantly about the opportunities to apply for financial aid throughout the year. About 50% of our students here receive some type of financial assistance. 1 out of every 2 students that you see on our campus receive financial aid, and it's because they applied for it.
Okay.
So definitely we have workshops throughout the year to help students apply for that. We also have workshops on how to apply for admission to 4 universities. So for students who wish to transfer, we would do hands-on in front of a computer, how to log in, how to write a personal statement, how to solicit letters of recommendation, what information the university is looking for, and the application process.
I love that.
So lots of different workshops that are available to our students.
Yeah, that's great. And so, stress, it's a real thing that, again, that we can encounter in a stressful situation, right? And so, VP Garcia, what advice do you have for our students feeling overwhelmed?
It's natural to feel overwhelmed. It's first we need to validate that's okay. We're human. We all, whether it's school or work or family, we all get overwhelmed at times. It's how do we cope or manage that stress when we find ourselves? We like to think that we have a lot of soft landing spots on campus, student lounges, areas, centers where students can go and relax. We have different types of seating, tabling, access to technology. Sometimes we have areas where there's free food, coffee, places where students can just relax for a little bit, get away from the stress. Sometimes it's just finding that quiet spot on campus to reflect.
Right.
We don't get that at work sometimes. We don't get that in school. We may not get that with our families, but sometimes just taking the time and knowing that at this campus we welcome our students to come and find refuge, to find a safe place on campus, to take that time to reflect. And then resources, as I mentioned, with mental health. We have mental health resources that are available that if someone needs to talk about what they're going through, we encourage them to do so.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we're talking a lot about resources for students today. However, would you share maybe one resource that students are not taking advantage of, but they should?
Wow. Well, I think one is getting a student ID card. And it might sound very simple. I think we provide student ID cards free of charge to all students. All they have to do is apply for admission, register for a class, we'll give them one free of charge. If they lose it or have it stolen, we'll replace it free of charge. The reason why I think that is because, one, it helps identify the person as being one of our own students here at San Jose City. Not only does that allow them to get access to resources on campus, it may also allow them to get benefits or discounts in merchants in the area. There are times in which there are discounts that if you can prove that you're a college student, you can get. You have to show an ID. We give it free of charge.
And we love those discounts.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So you get that at the Welcome Center or Information Desk on the first floor of our Robert N. Chang Student Center.
That is great. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, VP Garcia, for being here with us today. I know you're very busy, and thank you for having time and talk with us today. And of course, thank you for watching us in the second episode of our podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up under this video, and also go and explore other social media that we have. For example, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.